Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Urbans.
And I'm Denise Urbans.
Welcome to It's Your Water. I'm glad you found us. Welcome to the Quick Tips series, where we give you helpful tips on water treatment stuff. Today's topic is distribution systems, aka the plumbing inside the tank. Your softener tank, your filter tank, that crazy tank in the basement or in your factory. It's probably the single most important design feature of your water treatment system. Here's what you need to know for the best design. Single point distributor basket. It's a distributor basket at the end of a pipe, basically. It's found in residential systems. Low flow, probably up to maybe 15 gallons a minute. But what we're talking about here, I'm sure everybody that's listening are professionals, and you know.
They all know about that.
They know what a distributor is. But the design feature of it, how robust is it? That's the most important part. If anything, we start here, it's like how strong it is. Because if it fails, everything goes into the house.
Yes.
It's the biggest nightmare you could ever have, is a poor quality distributor
What
system.
would cause a failure?
Failure would be hot water backing up. That's pretty common, actually. Certain times, if the water heater's upstairs and this thing is a filter and it uses a lot of water, it creates negative pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And hot water can come back in and warp it. And next thing, because these are thin wall, because they're not really holding a ton of pressure. It's not like a pressure pipe. It's just a transportation kind of pipe.
Mm-hmm.
But that holds true on all of them. And just oxidation attack over the years, it just breaks down. It's plastic. Just breaks down. And
that's why you have that cartridge filter after the
cartridge filter
system.
after. Yeah. We kind of recommend that. We have a couple podcasts or one on that about media escaping. So it's always good to have a robust big filter after just a trap. You don't have to go with a very fine micron. You'd 50 micron, 100 micron. That's all. Just enough. But that's a single point basket at the end of the pipe. We make a really good one, by the way.
Yeah. Can't help yourself, huh?
Yeah, I can't. Simple, a lot of designs, but this is quick tips. So hub and lateral. I don't know if everybody's seen that, but that's my choice for anything commercial, 14-inch in diameter tank and on up. You can't really get a hub and lateral in a 13-inch tank because they don't have a threaded opening big enough for the hub.
Mm-hmm.
So think of the hub as a wagon wheel, and the hub is the hub, and then the spokes are the laterals. So we call it hub and laterals. Just like I said, just look at a wagon wheel, and that's what you have. Except you don't have the tire going around the outside. But why to use those, and why do I prefer them? Well, you could use a basket style. They look like a coffee can with slots cut in it. It's just, commercially, you're doing high flow. You don't want it to have a choke point. So you don't have the surface area in the flow that you would get from a hub and lateral. And hub and laterals can prevent channeling, where the water wants to, in low flow situations, will want to create a crevice and go from point A, which is the top of your filter bed or softener bed, to point B, which is your filter screen or your distribution screen at the bottom. So if a hub and lateral spreads that distribution out across the bottom of your tank, it's like fingers out there. So you either have fingers or you have a fist. And your single point is always a fist. But again, you wouldn't use it in a residential. 14-inch on up to, people listening here are probably 48-inch.
Right.
It's the biggest tank you're going to see. Fiberglass tank. But hub and lateral, also, you can get them in very robust designs or very thin-walled plastic design. I kind of like the heavier engineered. You could look at it. There's, KSH, they make them, Clack makes them. They have a robust, heavy screen instead of a thin piece of plastic with slots, literally. Like you get a saw that would go zip, 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 and cut little slots in this piece of pipe.
Make your own.
Right. The ones we use are engineered, blow molded or pour molded, and they have a lot of slots to them. A lot of, what should I say? It's like
slices.
Yeah, but no, it's the slices are there, but it's a streamlined, beveled That's it.
That's the word.
Beveled. I was searching.
I wasn't.
I was searching.
I would have never
Beveled
come
edge.
up with beveled.
Beveled edge. So that's real important. Design of a hub and lateral. This came up in the office the other day. Top mount, bottom mount. What the heck are we talking about? The top mount lateral, hub and lateral, or bottom mount hub and lateral? Well, if you have a top mount valve, your control's at the top of the tank, and the pipe goes down from the top. You have a top mount hub and lateral. So the pipe comes from the top of the tank to the bottom of the tank. That's the most common. Everybody has a big old fleck or clack valve up top or whatever brand you have, but it's up top, pipe down to the bottom. Bottom mount is more like if you see the Aquamatic or valve nests, it's an exoskeleton.
Right.
You would come in the top with just a pipe, but it won't go to the bottom, and out the bottom. So you're kind of, the hub is still on the bottom of the tank, and laterals are still on the bottom of the tank, but the pipe goes out the bottom side and out the bottom of the tank. So you need a flanged tripod base, 6-inch, big commercial, 30-inch or more, big tank.
Hub and laterals always sit at the bottom.
They always sit at the bottom.
Okay. You just have to
Yep. It's
know whether it's a top mounted valve.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a top mounted valve, it's top mounted
hub and lateral.
hub and lateral.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
And you can get high flow or low flow.
Mm-hmm.
High flow is actually all they do is like Lego stack. So say you have 8 laterals off your hub, you could do 16. You just screw another hub to the other hub, and they have double hub. But nobody ever goes triple hub because then it becomes stupid.
You don't see too often.
No,
well, I guess you do in larger, larger industrial commercial systems.
Yeah, well, you need a lot of flow.
Mm-hmm.
But then too much flow, then you're overflowing your purpose of your media.
Right.
You're flowing it too fast.
Yeah.
Right through. So, we design these things. I talked about plastic. You can also do commercial, industrial. You could do stainless steel laterals. And that's a stainless steel hub, stainless steel lateral. Almost exclusively found, the stainless steel is found exclusively in steel tanks, big industrial steel tanks, because they need a very robust lateral. Some pump air in to break up the filter media and stuff. That's dangerous. Don't do it. You have to really know what you're doing. But you can make a lateral that is probably weighs like 10 pounds a piece. It's so robust. It's heavy, big wire and wedge wire and pipe based. So that's where you see stainless steel. But most of the time, if you're using plastic tanks, you use plastic laterals.
Right.
And I explained the bevel versus,
Right.
But in stainless steel, you could do 304, 316. Stainless 304 is more for everything. 316 is like a pharmaceutical company or high chlorides. But you'll probably never find it. But we do stainless steel hub and laterals, by the way.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And back in the day, it was amazing how many times we replaced somebody else's stainless steel laterals.
Yeah, we're
because
cheaper.
The design is everything.
Bad design.
Even though it's stainless.
Thin.
Yeah.
We had one, we called them beer can thin. Just couldn't believe that they were using these things.
Mm-hmm.
And the slots where they were, and it was just a mess. But plastic is mostly what we use, in fiberglass, they're heavy duty, but plated tank distributors have just come on, I don't know, the last 10 years, I guess. Maybe years ago, Brunner. Remember Brunner? Now we're dating ourselves. We're going back 30 years. Had a plastic tank with a whole bottom distributor. The whole bottom of the tank is a distributor plate. Look, think of a kitchen plate, a dinner plate, with distributor pipe stuck in the middle of it. And it's basic with slots. And I guess the benefit of that they say is you use the entire surface area. It's not hubs and spokes. Mm-hmm. It's like a whole plate. The whole bottom of the tank is now a screen. So it's an enormous amount of surface area. But is it too much surface area? It's a big debate.
Yeah.
People debate it. I use them a lot. So, yeah. Some people like them, some people don't. But another neat thing is they can weld like another plate, say halfway up the tank. So you could put, say, resin in the bottom, carbon in the top,
Yeah.
Whatever, mix and match. Pretty cool. And they work out okay. Sometimes they can fail, but everything else can fail too. But I like them, and they've kind of revolutionized the way we design residential stuff.
Right.
Residential.
Right.
Just as important, upper screen or upper diffusers. They are a bayonet style. Upper screen is typically clipped into your top mount valve or your in-out head. And it provides even dispersion, not distribution. We're talking dispersion now. From the top of the tank, your water hits the screen, disperses down, and it makes it evenly flow through your ion exchange, your filter media. So you get that shower effect. Instead of picture someone squirting you with a hose on full blast, or backing that hose down and it sprays that umbrella spray.
It's like those shower heads.
Like a shower head. Yeah, it sprays it evenly.
The rain shower head.
If you don't have one, if you look at your control heads, your in-out heads, they're all like kidney bean half-shaped inlet port.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going to happen is, under high flow, that port will drill down to ion exchange resin a lot. Drill down, and so fast your media, your ion exchange, looks like a volcano in there, like the lava going boosh, up and down, up and down. And it heaps everything to one side.
Mm-hmm.
So it's inefficient. You're drilling your water through the media that should be filtering it or ion exchanging it. So an upper screen prevents that, but upper screens will also clog on high iron and crappy water,
right?
Because they act as screens. But how you get away with that is most of the commercial stuff has a diffuser, big square like slots cut in there, and that upper diffuser blasts the water and diffuses it through the bed, but doesn't screen it and slow it down. So they're so critical. I went to a job, short runs, commercial. So problems. I said, well, when you do this, you put your the disperser on there that comes with it, the valve, and what? And so I got a big bright light, and we shined it through a 24-inch tank. All the resin in the media and the carbon tanks were heaped to one side, like whoop, because the water was coming out of the valve, blasting, and up to the side. And from then on, they wrote a policy that those dispersers better make it on there.
Yeah.
They're very important. That was me.
Does it help to keep the media in the tank?
Well, during backwash, if you've overfilled your tank, the upper screen will prevent that from.
Right.
Or if you have a highly designed, engineered system that is a pack bed, if you don't use that upper screen and it goes into backwash, all your stuff goes down the drain.
Right.
A lot of people only use upper screens, but back out east here, we use a softener for iron removal, and it can get pretty nasty. You can get, it's a catch point, really. But they're as important as your bottom. People take it for granted. Commercially, you can get different slot sizes, the little slits inside the pipe that are cut into the pipe, or beveled inside. Right? The most common is a filter media is coarse, right? You figure carbon and and sand and gravel. It's coarse, so you want a bigger slot, which is a 0.020 millimeter. And then a softener resin can be fine mesh or a little bit smaller, so you have the smaller slot side for softeners, because sometimes people don't use gravel. They just let the resin
That's right.
go right on to the screen. But that's our next thing. 0.010 millimeter is that. So filters 0.020, softeners 0.010 slot size.
So it can't be bigger than that. Otherwise, the
media will migrate.
Will go right in.
Will go right through the screen. Yeah, screen slot. And if you have a lot of commercial, industrial, high pressure, high flow, you can actually jam the media into the slots. That's why, like our bevels, it tends to push things through in backwash. So you don't the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually clog hub and laterals after a while. If it's poorly designed, the slot's too small. If you're using a softener slot for filter, that slot could, over time, clog up and then starts making your distribution all wacky and creating those channels and all that. So it's real critical. That's why we're doing this. And then last thing is gravel or garnet underbedding or nothing. Residentially, softeners, a lot of people don't use anything, but I kind of like to put gravel in there on everything. It speeds the flow up because the gravel is really coarse. So picture sand against the screen or pebbles against the screen. What do you think is going to clog it up faster or slow the flow? So people put gravel down there to add another dimension of distribution because the water has to ricochet through gravel, then find the distributor basket, flows through. Or, if you use it just straight up and you're using fine mesh resin, you're packing all that. So, and then critical in all filters, gravel or garnet. Garnet's heavier, so if you have a heavier filter media, your manufacturer will tell you what to use, but people use a garnet. Garnet's twice the about a third the density of...
It's about 130 pounds per cubic foot.
And gravel is 100 pounds
100
per cubic
pounds,
foot.
yeah.
So garnet makes things stay put, but it's expensive, It's
it's getting more expensive.
Yeah, it's getting more expensive. So, but that's it. That's our quick tip for hubs and laterals and distribution systems and all that. It's very critical. So,
very.
Listen up. Trust the frog, everyone. Thanks for listening.
This podcast was edited by Resonate Recordings.